Right on.
Crazy.
Well, hopefully everything else in this area is as soft as that. Is that called ditching
I
out?
think anyone that understands any level of sacredness will know that there's a certain amount of silence associated. I told myself, no way am I gonna make climbing content on YouTube like everyone else. Because believe it or not, I'm actually fighting for the world to exist like it did before cell phones. Before 15-second attention spans. It's a weird feeling trying to produce something you're proud of. And I can't lie, I'm kind of curious what it feels like when you succeed in doing that. You know, I actually finished this video something like a year ago with a fully different voiceover.
It's cold. Wow, it's really cold. It's like too cold. Oh.
But I watched it the other day and I was like, shit, it kind of didn't make sense.
Ugh. That's freaking cool. I pinched my finger in the tripod and I want to say that's like not catastrophic, but that's near catastrophic.
I think what bothered me about it is I was trying to be poetic and I'm not quite poetic enough to pull it off, and then my delivery sucks. I figured, fuck it though, like if I can't be poetic, I can't be poetic, you know? I'm still gonna try and convey what I'm trying to convey though.
It's cold. G5 is gonna be a rough warm up.
You know, when I was originally trying to record this video, I didn't know at all like what I was gonna do with this content. The only goal I really had in mind was I was trying to come up with a different style of climbing content that's like posted on YouTube, you know? The way I see it is there's basically two approaches to climbing films right now. You either have the real rock approach, so like a sit-down interview for 45 minutes talking about the beta, and ultimately you know it's just going to result in a send at the end of the video. Or there's what I call the hype videos. The hype videos are the ones with the camcorder zooms, the fisheye lenses, and these are the callback to old school skate videos.
Not bad for V5. A little shaky in the beginning. Right on. Well, hopefully everything else in this area is as soft as that. Oh, it's way harder than the V5.
Honestly, I'm not trying to talk shit on any of these styles. Any climbing content on YouTube, I'm probably watching it. But I knew for myself that I wanted to at least try something different.
Okay.
The issue was when I was recording this, and I think the issue still is, that I don't know exactly what this different is.
Wow, the foot's quite poor.
I do have a sense. It feels as if I had a dream and I'm grasping at the details the next day. I have an idea of what it's about, but I can't get specifics. And this is exactly how filming this climbing content felt for me.
Ah, skin. Well, the block low-key is the prettiest block I've seen yet. I don't know if it climbs the best, but it's for sure the prettiest block. Let's see. Clouds be rolling in. Okay, so there's the block. Before this I hiked out 2 pads just to see. Oh shit. Sunshine. But it's a beautiful looking block. The sun's just kind of getting on it right now and making the lighting terrible, but I'm hoping these clouds will help me out in a second.
To be honest, I know that I'm capable of creating something different than what is out there. Would I call this that much different? That I can't really say, but I figure even if the method takes trial and error, it's worth figuring it out through that process.
How do people fit in here?
The reason why I chose Kukeon as the title is because I just happened to be reading a book on Greek mythology at the time, which, I mean, how overplayed is a Greek title?
Fuck.
At any rate, the Kukeon was essentially just a psychedelic drink. And those who partook in it would travel quite far, once a year, just to experience this psychedelic trip. And of course, for me, I felt climbing was my own Kukeon.
Oh, it moves hard. actually.
What I think intrigued me initially about the Kukeon was that the drink itself had kind of like a secret recipe. It was considered ineffable. So I don't know how the hell that gets passed on to the next generation, but that was the concept of the drink. Crazy enough, it actually wasn't looked down upon by the general population. In fact, it was kind of held in high regard.
Is that called bitching out? I believe so. Yosh.
By the time I got to the third boulder, I was grappling with whether I felt like I was a qualified videographer to even attempt new content on YouTube. Because obviously the concern is that you won't produce anything unique at all, and it'll just be a repetition of what already exists. But in the spirit of ineffability, I guess, I figured it would be crazy to make a climbing film that's jam-packed with cuts so that you don't sit in any silence yourself as a viewer. I think anyone that understands any level of sacredness will know that there's a certain amount of silence associated. And as much as I talk to this dumbass camera and you'll see me talking to myself like a psycho a lot of times, the silence is so much more abundant when I'm outside than it is anywhere else. And that's part of what contributes for me to the sacredness of this activity.
Oh, heel there. It makes a lot more sense.
But then it happened to work on multiple levels that I was going to call this episode the ineffable. Part of what I think is ineffable is obviously what I just explained, that climbing itself is an ineffable sacred activity to me. But also it happened to work on the level that I don't know what the hell this climbing content is or what this video is. And I felt like if I couldn't put words to it myself, what more of an appropriate title for this episode? I started to have the idea that this video and probably the Kukeon series would be something of a climbing diary.
Whew. Cold.
So anyways, If this is something that you find intriguing, feel free to join me in my journey. I'm going to be looking for whatever it is that I think would be unique or stand apart. Maybe I haven't found it. I don't even know. But I figure if you don't stick your neck out there, you'll never know. So here it is, my first attempt. Are you fucking serious? So here's the Kukeon series. Each episode will feature a different topic, and in the following episode, I'm going to be talking about vulnerability, something that I don't relish, and especially don't relish being vulnerable with my rock climbing. So it could be an entertaining one to watch. I think that's from the Flash Go. Just wreaking havoc on my hands. Isn't that funny? Like, I could technically have all four fingers taped.
Comes the wind with it. Oh, that's so cool. I mean, it's just, you just want to sit here and witness it. It's really hard to even leave. But I think it's time. I gotta get the hell out of here. Wow, it's beautiful though.